Hello everybody and welcome to an MPLab tutorial. I'm going to be demonstrating how to install and run your first programs for MPLab using the assembly language for the PIC-18F and also the C language for the PIC-18F. So the first two things you're going to need are the assembler, which is going to be in this package right here, and that would be for the assembly language, and the C18 compiler for the C language. So how do I get those on my desktop? Well, if you go to MPLab or Microchip and under MPLab, you can get the versions right here. I'm going to be using 8.43. You can use any of the versions after that, and the C18 compiler will work just fine. For the C18 compiler, go to Microchip's site. You can go to the academic use and get a free version. You're going to go down here, click on the MPLab C for PIC-18. Version 3.4, and now you're going to need to register. It takes less than 2 minutes. It's really easy. Just register now. You're going to type in some information. You're going to do a next step, type in a little bit more information. You can literally type in whatever you want. They're not going to be sending any emails. Then it'll take you back to the next page, and you just download it, and you just re-click the link again. So essentially, after you fill that out, it's going to take you back to this page right here. You're going to click that again, and it's going to be right here in your download bar. Nice and easy. You can get both those. Alright, so now, actually, you know what, I'm going to unzip this really quick just into a folder. And then we're going to open it up. You're going to see a couple files here. What we're going to want to do is just double click on the setup.exe. Of course we're going to allow it because we want to install it, and we know that we know that Microchip is a company that will not trick us and put a virus on our computer. So once that starts getting installing, it'll pop up here momentarily, and you can see this giant screen that's green. And for anyone that used to install a lot of old software, this is how it looked. It's kind of nice back in Windows 2000 and Windows XP. So you're going to go ahead and click next. You're going to accept all the license agreements, do the complete install. It's going to install, actually that's kind of important, we're going to use that later. The program files 86 in their Microchip, and we're going to have to do some linking to get the compilers to for the C18 compiler. We're going to need to know where that is. So next we're going to agree to all their things, and we're not going to use it for bad things, making bombs. Okay, so now we're going to wait. Alrighty, now we've gotten to this step right here. You've seen this popped up. The high-tech C compiler wants to install. I do not like how the high-tech C compiler works. You might. That's totally fine. I'm going to say no because we're going to install the C18 compiler instead. So now that we're done with this, we're going to go ahead and get out of this. And MPLab has installed itself. And no, we're not going to restart a computer right now. We are going to install this MPLab C18 compiler. Of course, Windows, we want to install this. I love this little logo that pops up, nice and clean. I'm going to accept the license agreement. I'm going to install it inside that directory. And this one should be faster than the last. Our C18 compiler has finished installing, and we're going to go ahead and finish now. Now, just to make sure everything's installed correctly, and that everything's going to run perfect, you should restart your computer now and make sure that everything's going to work fine. As you can see, I restarted my computer. You know, you might see a window right here that's giving you a little documentation view saying, hey, look at these documents, you might want to read these. You can read those. I'm not going to do it. I just closed out the window right as my computer restarted. Alright, so now we're going to go into MPLab and actually do something fun. So when we start it up, you're going to see this untitled thing right here. It's looking for a project file to load. And you see your output window. So let's create a project. Project Wizard. We're going to go next, and we're going to type in the name of our device right here. You can actually just go ahead and type it in. Right now, I've already used the program, so it's already in there. So we're going to type in PIC-18F4321, or like 555. Oh, because there's no 5s. 3. Nope, there's 4. 220. You can type in that. 4321. Whatever device you're using, but for our sake, we're going to be using 4321. Alrighty. So, click Next. It's going to load up some stuff. Alright, now right here we have our assembler compiler. If you click on this, these are all the active tool suites you can use. Basically, that means that they're the assemblers or compilers for certain languages. We're going to be worried about these two right here, the Microchip C18 tool suite and the Microchip MPASM. This is for the assembly language and this is for the C. If you click on the C one, you're going to notice that there might be X's on yours right around here. We'll deal with those by linking them to the, if you need to, linking them to the correct files. And I'll show you each one of those links in here. But they should be correct if everything went as it should. So we're going to start with the assembly language right here. And we're going to click next. And now we're going to create a new project file. Now I know you're really tempted to type in like, oh, this project's going to be so cool, you know, name it cool. Well, unfortunately that's not going to work, because if you click next, it's going to be please specify a project directory. So that's what it's searching for. It's searching for a place to actually store your data. So I created a folder right here, MPLab tutorial. That's where I'm going to save it to on my desktop. It's nice to create a folder for your projects, because MPLab will not create a folder for you, and it'll just have 5 or 6 files just laying out there, and it's not going to be very pretty. So we're going to call this MPLab ASM. Alright, we're going to save that in there. And so now the path has been created. We're going to click next. If you have any existing files, you can go and find them on your computer and go ahead and already add them to your project. I don't have any existing files for this tutorial. We're going to create them all from scratch. Alright, now we're going to go next and finish. Now we bring this up, we're going to see all of these files right here. This is just for reference for the program, so all your source files and header files, if you get that advanced, we're just going to be working with just the .asm or .c files, just a source file. And right here we have our output, as I said, looks the same. Alright, now let's get ready to create our first program. Now we're going to go ahead and create our file so we can run our first program. So I'm just going to maximize this to make it easier to see. We're going to go up to File, and we're going to click New to create a new file right here. I'm going to space these out a little bit. And so I already have the code right here. So there's a code I'm going to be using for this first program. Very simple program, I'm just going to add 2 numbers. So I'm going to take 3, move it into the WREG or accumulator. I'm going to take that, take the WREG, move it to 70 hex in the data memory. Take 4, move it to our WREG, add the WREG and 0x70 in memory. And that should result in a value of 7, because we got 3 plus 4, should be 7. Alright. And that's not due to this being 7, that was just a coincidence. Not Alrighty, and then this right here, finish prof finish, is just going to keep a loop right here, so it's essentially halting our program. And then up here, the include, if you're wondering what this was, is just to tell the assembler that we are using the PIC18F. So you don't need to put PIC18F4321, it's P18F4321.inc. Alrighty, now we're going to want to save this file, so you can go File, Save, or Control S. I'm big into shortcut keys. Now we're going to save it, so I'm going to just save this as ASM code, for assembly code. And we're going to ASM code, whatever your file is, and then .asm. We're going to go ahead and save it under our project. So I got the MPLab tutorial right there. We're going to go save. Now, it's not in our project, so we just created a file. So what we need to do is actually add the file into our source file. So we're going to say add file. We're going to find it right here. It automatically took me to my MPLab tutorial. If not, you know, you can scroll down here and actually find where you're going to go. So we're going to add this file right in there. Nice and pretty, the assembly language. Little logo right there. Alright, now let's see if it actually assembles. So we're going to go Project, Build All. Woo! That's relief. Build succeeded. Didn't make any mistakes. Alright. Now we're going to go View, and because we want to be able to run this program. So we want to actually see if it adds 3 plus 4 and actually stores everything where I'm telling it to. So we're just going to be able to say watch. And we're going to be able to watch and look at certain registers. So I'm going to move this right here. This is kind of unimportant anyway. It's kind of an unimportant window right now, the output. Alright, so we can go in here, we're going to add a special function register. We have all of these to choose from. There are special function registers on the PIC18F. So I'm going to go down here and choose WRay because that's our accumulator, and I'm going to go ahead and add it. And now we've got to take care of 70 in the program memory. So we're going to go to View, and we are going, or sorry, not the program memory, data memory. We are going to say File Registers. And right here, there's our value. As you can see, I already ran the program, so it's in there. Shh, don't tell anyone. Alright, so now we're gonna want to put some breakpoints in here. So you can just double click on this left hand side to put some breakpoints, or you can just put one breakpoint here, say run, and then say step into. So I'm gonna start with run. Oh, did I put a breakpoint where there wasn't anything? Oh, no, that's fine. Alright. So now we're gonna run this. We're gonna step into each step. So we just moved 3 into our WReg right here. And now we should see that, yep, right here in 70. We're going to keep going. And we move 4 in there. We should now see an addition of 4 plus 3, and it should be 7. There we go. So there's how to run your first program in assembly language using the MPLab ASM assembler. Alright, now let's go ahead and run a C program in the MPLab. So we're going to go Project, Project Wizard, Next, pick H&F, 4321, and we're going to get this lovely screen again, and we're going to want to go up here into Active Tool Suite and choose the C18 compiler toolset. Now, as I said earlier in the tutorial, these might not be linked, so you can go ahead and take a quick look at these. You're going to want to go Browse, you're going to go into Microchip, MPC18, version 3.4, MPASM, and search for this executable. Same with here. You can search for that link, and that one, and that one. Real easy. I'll just do this one for example. We're going to go in here, we're going to say Browse, and I'm going to go back. I'm just going to follow this file path to make it a little bit easier. So you're going to go into your C. You're going to go into Program Files, search for Microchip first. So we're going to Microchip. Then we're going to go MPLab C18 into this version right here. And then into the bin. And we just look for MPLib, which would be right here, and we would double click on that and it would just have the path to that file. So, but all these have already been linked for me. So you can go and do that to each one of those. Actually, I showed all the paths for those. Alright, so now we're going to go next. Again, we can't just type a file path in here. So we're going to go ahead and need to browse and create a new file path. What we're going to do is create a project file again. I am just going to go ahead and create another project inside of this one. So I'm just going to create a new folder. And this is the C tutorial inside of this. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go in here. We're going to save this as C tutorial. We're going to save that. And we're going to say next. But we don't need to add any files. Next again. And finish. Alrighty, now let's create that file for C. We're going to go to File New. And again, I have the code already in here. Just real quick, I was going to explain what this does. So for int a equals 5, it's actually going to load load 5 into WReg, and then it's going to store it in a file register, and under the name, and it's going to reference it to the name of A in this C code. Anyway, we're just pretty much the same as the last assembly program. We're just taking two numbers and we're going to add them together. So we're going to want to save this file, File Save, or Control S. We're going to go inside of our C tutorial here, and we want to save it, see that as a .c file. So I can just say C code. Alright, save that. And as before, color changes. We have all of our fields. We've got our essentially label field or comment field. And then we have our numbers, nice colors. We have our C directives in a nice blue color. We're going to go to source now, source files. We're going to say add file. We're going to go to the C code.c. Open that up. Now that's in there nicely. And let's see if this actually builds. Build succeeded. Awesome. Well, now in order to get this all to work on the PIC-18F, we're going to need to change some stuff in the projects. We're going to go to Project, Build Options, Project. We're going to want to change some of these files. So, linker script search path from the show directories. We're going to click New and go to these three little dots right here. And it'll bring us an area to search. So, not in that. Alright, so we're going to go down here to Program 86. We're going to open that up. It's already opened up for me. Go down to Microchip, and we're going to go down to MPLab C18 version 3.4. And for the linker script path, make sure my notes are correct on this. We're going to go to the inside bin, we're going to go to the linker file. Yep, there it is right there. We're going to say OK, and that's set in there. Now, we're going to need to link something for library search path. So that's already actually in there for me. Is the same file, version 3.4, and you're just going to click on the lib. So I'll actually do that real quick. Go in here into the computer, local C, go into program files, scroll down to microchip, go in here to the MPLab C18 and the lib right there. Bam, now it's linked. The final one is the include search path, so we're going to go new, click on the three dots, go back into computer, local C for me, program 86, go down to microchip, MPLab C18, and it should be the H file right here. OK, and then apply. And that's all we're going to need to do there. Alrighty. So now we should be able to run this. So since our build succeeded, we're going to go to debugger, make sure that we are on the MPLab sim in case anything goes wrong. I'm going to build it one more time just to make sure everything went right. Awesome. So now we're going to go to view, and we're going to want to watch some locations. We should be able to go to add symbol, and we'll be able to choose our A and our B and our C. Alrighty, so let's set our breakpoints in here and let's run it. So as we come here, we got 0, 0, 0, 0. We are going to want to say step into. Whew, A took on a value of 5, that's good. B takes on a value of 4. C takes on a value of 0. And now we're going to add A plus B. We get 9. Program works. So I hope this tutorial was helpful in helping you set up the MPLab IDE.